Welcome back to IndieX 2021. We are now with Project Haven, one of the Portuguese projects, which for us is a kind of pride thing because we are a Portuguese company as well, so we do enjoy having Portuguese teams here. Hello, we are with Sergio. Hello, Sergio.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello. Pretty good, thank you. You?
Also, so Project Heaven was here with us last year as well, and it's a great game. Can you run us through your game, Sergio, please?
Yeah, sure. So Project Haven is a tactical turn-based RPG. It's heavily inspired by games like Jagged Alliance 2, Silent Storm, the original XCOM series, and that means that unlike a lot of today's turn-based games, it's a game with a lot more depth of tactics and control over your actions. Um, as you'll soon see. We also have a strong focus on a narrative component in the game, so we have a very strong storyline behind all of this tactical goodness, let's say.
So how has been the whole process? It's a game with many components, and now you tell us about this narrative, which also brings complexity to the equation. How's it been the development of Project Heaven?
It's been a long process. We started back in 2015. We're a super small team. We're only 3 people right now. I was just 2 of us for the most part. But it's what we wanted to build when we set out to do this game. So we did not compromise on our vision, even if it would end up taking us quite a long time. And right now we're at the final stretch of development, and we're super happy with how it's coming. And although it's been long, it's definitely been worth it.
That's good. So I will start the game so people can see what we are talking about. So we'll start. Shall I do a campaign, or you want me to do skirmish?
Campaign. Yeah, campaign.
Let's go for normal. Did you find a publisher for?
We chose to self-publish the game.
Okay, it's nice.
Just a little warning that the game is not final, of course, and there may be issues here and there. So
okay, we'll bear that in mind. Okay, we have the typical rundown through the key to rotate.
So Bubbles here is on the Steel Dragons HQ, and the Steel Dragons is the group that the Mercenary is the leader of. You can use WASD to move the camera, by the way. I think it mentioned on the tutorial.
Yeah, it's what we had in the tutorial exactly. So we have Mongrel. Loot in inventory. Pick up. And we have our inventory here. You see it with the. Are you checking the stream, Sergio?
Yeah, I'm watching the stream.
Okay,
I'm watching
you have a bit of delay. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So we do have here our inventory. forgot. I do not have anything to equip at the moment. I need to grab this loot.
So I'm not sure if you've opened the inventory yet, because this is.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there you go. Never mind, never mind. Because I watch with 5 seconds delay, so it's it's hard for me to guide you.
I was moving about it as well. Okay, now I have weapon and I have to do weapon reload. Now I'm lock and loaded. Sure. And we are learning how to shoot. Well, did you the ballistics and the way that the weapons behave? It looks like it had a thorough study about it.
Yeah, we decided to go with the proper ballistic system, as in the bullets can penetrate objects depending on their material and their thickness and all that, and we feel like that fits with the rest of the game where you have a lot of control. So it's one more variable that you have to control for, and then it also allows us to have different weapons with different calibers that affect materials differently, do different types of damage and all that. So, yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, now I spent all my bullets.
You can always pick up more over on the table where you picked them initially. You can exit the by spacebar to exit.
Yeah.
Again, I'm watching with delay, so if I say something you've already done, I apologize.
No, I'm not being very nimble as well, because it's always a bit stressful to be streaming and playing at the same time and trying to speak. But it goes. Okay, shit. Okay.
So now you'll need to get it into cover. You'll have to put your mouse over the wall on the left, and you'll get like a little shield icon. And when that appears, it means that you will be in cover.
Okay, so now I should be in cover, right?
Yeah, I see you in cover now. Yeah. So the thing with cover in our game is that it does not really give you any bonus like you have in a lot of these games where you get 40% chance to evade a shot or something. It doesn't really give you anything like that. Again, because of the ballistic system, if the bullet hits you, it hits you. It doesn't matter what you're behind. So what the cover allows you to do, though, is lean out of it and do like a little peek. So you have to right-click your character, as it says in the tutorial there on the left. You have to put yourself in cover and then right-click yourself and then select lean to the right in this case. But as I was saying, the cover allows you to stay relatively protected while you still have a good shot over to your enemy. Yeah, just like
Okay, and return. Lean right.
Alrighty, boys and girls. This is our first proper gig since the breakup. Rex doesn't think we'll make it on our own. Then we'll go crawling back to the iron dogs with their tails between our legs. Fuck
I see that there's a
that.
question
We're
in the
steel
chat asking about the
dragons now.
transition from
We
top
don't crawl
down
for
to
anyone,
third-person view.
especially not
So
Rex.
that is actually for aiming. That's how you
Okay,
aim
so
in the
our
game.
client Gecko is in force
And
fix
it,
that
it,
Mongol
it fits with that ballistic
Once
model
stop
where
Brotherhood
you have
offering
a
his
lot more
witness.
control over
We've
what
got
your
erectability here, so
character
please
does while you are
don't
aiming.
fuck us up. Shit. Looks like Gecko was right to be worried. We've got company. Some of you better stay back to protect the witness.
It also ties in with the damage system, which in our game, if you hit a specific body part, say like the arms, the enemy will have less accuracy. The same for you if you get hit in the arms. You can actually see in the toolbar on the bottom, on the right side, there's like a little man icon, and that's your damage. Currently, it's like all white because
I have no
there's
damage.
no damage yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So if you were hit in the arms, you get less accuracy. Hit in the legs, you lose movement, and then head does extra damage. The torso, you have higher chance to bleed. So this tutorial is about the ghosts. In our game, if you do not have a line of sight to an enemy, the only thing you will see is this red ghost, which is the last position you've seen your enemy at. So you can use to gauge where they fled to, but you don't know where they went unless you, again, you see them. Also, your characters do not see behind them, so if someone sneaks behind you real quick, again, you will not see them do that.
Chopping up.
Okay, and we do have action points. Where do I have my action points?
So you have, they are either on the left on your character, that is highlighted. So you have 15 with
Scarlet, 15.
Yeah, or
Fank 20.
or on the pop-up right above Scarlet. It's currently on the bottom right of the corner. There's like a little pop-up with health, stamina, and AP, and you have 15 AP there. And it also shows you a quick handy guide of how many points you will have after the movement. So it says like 7 currently. So the characters, what happened right now, or like 5 seconds ago, I should say, because I'm seeing this during the delay, is that Scarlet stopped her movement midway because she spotted an enemy. Our mercenaries will stop when they see an enemy for the first time, and that allows you to reevaluate your strategy, much like you would, again, in a more realistic setting, where if you saw an enemy, you would not continue your movement just because you initially decided you wanted to go there. They will stop. You will not spend any further action points more than what you did getting to that up to that point, and then you can fall back, you can continue your move, or you can take a shot, something like that.
Still, but supposedly I just saw an enemy, but it's still a red ghost.
Yeah, because you crouched, so her eyes are behind the concrete barrier there, so you don't really have line of sight to the enemy. Although you don't have enough action points anymore with Scarlet, so you'll have
Okay.
to
So I'll
continue with Faye.
Shielding my ugly mug.
and can also, if I'm lacking action points, I can pass the initiative to my enemies, right?
Yeah, you just end your turn. They will do their thing, and then it's back to your turn, and you have your action points back again.
Okay, let's start. Oh, they're shooting me.
A little help?
Bad.
Yeah, so positioning is probably one of the most key elements in a game like this. You will want to make sure that you are safe at the end of your turn, and much like you would be able to hit an enemy that stays in the open, the AI will not forgive you for being out in the open either. It's a very strategic and tactical game, sort of like chess, I suppose. You don't want to leave your pieces unprotected, and the same thing happens here. So it's very methodical. It's very tactical, and yeah, it's again, it's more similar to old games in the genre than the new ones, where it's all based on just percentages, and you can be really close to the enemy and have a 99% chance.
No
The
fair.
meme, the XCOM meme where you miss an enemy that is right next to you. It works differently here because, again, of that ballistics model and the whole cover system and all that.
Okay, nice. So I have a shotgun. I will not get that guy from there. Sorry, I get interested in the game, trying to understand where can I go now.
Yeah, it's a game that does take a little bit of time getting used to, and has a bit of a learning curve, again, because there's so many mechanics and so many systems that you may you may even end up in a situation where your best move is just not to do anything, and that can happen as part of the strategy. Staying in place is a completely valid strategy, and just waiting for the enemies to push you. And again, depending on the AI, some AI will be more rush happy and will just charge at you. Others will play more casually, and those are all challenges that you have to deal with and decide how you want to tackle that.
I imagine that's a challenge by itself to program this AI to work as fine-tuned as you want it.
Yeah, it's something that is very iterative. You try something, you see how it works, you play test the game a few times, you give it to some players to test and see what they think, and then you make changes, and that's really how it goes. But that's all part of the balancing process, and the community has been helpful enough to let us know their thoughts, and yeah, I mean, we've done a lot of changes. So I'm not sure if you've done anything yet, but the car is smoking now, so that car is ready to cause some serious damage to whoever is near it. If you actually, I think you have enough action points with Fang to shoot at the car. You may cause the car to blow up and do damage on the guy on the left.
Oh, that would be nice. Let's do that.
You can lean. Oh yeah, you can actually have sort of, yeah, you can lean with Fang, exactly. I think you were going to do it. Not sure if you did it.
Yeah, I did lean.
Okay,
you.
There you go. So you actually
Great.
have vision of the.
Oh, and the guy's dead.
There you go.
Okay, let's. Okay, I don't have any more action points to do that.
Nice and cozy.
I'll just end my turn. So, and... Oh, he got me. So this... I lost my weapon.
Yeah, you got this arm. You can pick it up from the ground. You just have to open your inventory and pick it up again. But it's something that can happen if you get shot in your hands or in your weapon. You will drop your weapon since you got the weapon got shot. So you just have to pick it up. It will make you lose your bit of AP in the whole process of having to pick it up and making the weapon ready again and all that. So it's sometimes an interesting strategy where you can use against your enemies, or the enemies can use against you, where if they don't really have a good tactic at that moment, they can try and just disarm you and try and gain some advantage that way.
Okay, this seems nice. I thought I would get damage in that.
You for the disarm, you got to be a little bit damaged on the disarm. It actually hit your weapon, so you weren't severely damaged. If it hit your hand, you would be more damaged, and you still drop your weapon. But since it was just on the actual weapon itself, it didn't really cause you much damage. We don't have weapon durability implemented yet, but it's something that's going to be in the final game, where weapons that get shot, they lose durability, of course, and eventually you may have to get a new one, basically.
Okay, that goes with the theme of realistic.
Yep.
Okay, just
No fair.
okay. I'm not the best of shooters.
Scarlet is known to miss more than she should.
Okay, let's do this again. Can I lean right? No. I have to do this first. And now I can lean right. But I can't see him.
You can. I'm not sure if you can press V to change the camera angle, so that you go over to your left shoulder. Sometimes that gives you a better angle towards what you wanna shoot at.
Okay, that when I'm aiming, right?
I don't know yet.
Time.
I'm still watching for this, waiting for the stream to catch up. But yeah, the V would be anytime you're aiming. Yes.
Oh!
Look out, more incoming.
There you go. Oh, an enemy went. just saw the enemy
Disappear.
Yeah, little physics
Sorry.
glitch there, but it's still, again, it's still a alpha game, and all these little nicks and knacks will be fixed before release.
Stay out of my way.
So the tutorial that's on right now is talking about interrupt. An interrupt is how you basically interrupt your enemy's turn and get a shot on your enemy when they move inside the cone that you have, your basically your vision cone, and basically it gives you a free shot on your enemy during their turn if they. It's similar to the Overwatch mechanic in other games of the genre, but it does allow you to manually shoot instead of just being a completely automatic shot.
Okay, that's a fine twist. Well, I should get in cover. Yeah.
On the go.
So the same will happen for the AI, right? They will interrupt you and they will shoot at you when you're passing their code.
Correct. Yeah, correct. So that's why,
Come
as I was
to
saying
mama.
earlier, sometimes staying put is just the best strategy. You just put like a little interrupt cone to where they think they could come from, and make the basically
Like
make
a
that your
trap.
strategy.
You just wait for them to
Exactly. Yeah,
reach you and
Exactly.
So what's the feedback that you're getting from the people testing the game and having experienced with the game?
It's been massively positive, and we're super happy with all the feedback we've been getting thus far. It's We started building this game because we thought there was a lack of games in the genre that were like this, the more with more depth than just the usual that we've been seeing. And it seems we were not alone. It seems that it's something that is truly something that people enjoy, and so we've had pretty much nothing but great feedback thus far. And there's always little issues in balancing problems and all that, but it's all things that we can and will fix and will sort out before further releases. But yeah, we really could not be happier with the feedback we've been getting.
Oh, that's great. Well, it sure is a niche of people playing this game, but it's a big niche, I would say. And very enthusiastic niche.
Yeah, it's a genre of game that has been, rising in the ranks of games lately, with the resurgence of games like XCOM, the new XCOM, and then you have like games like Divinity and Baldur's Gate, Gloomhaven now. All these little turn-based games are really pretty much coming out almost daily these days. But yeah, it's definitely a genre that has risen in popularity lately, and I think people, just like in first-person shooters, where some people like the more casual arcadey ones, other like the more complex and tactical ones. It's the same thing with this genre. There's the simpler games, and then there's this kind of game where it's more tactical.
Nice and
Some
cozy.
people like one, some people like the others, and we really like the more complex ones. So that's what we did.
That's nice. So you talk about Divinity, and I quickly remember the 100 and something hours I left there.
Yeah, Divinity is a great game.
Sorry.
It's one of the very few games in the genre that actually has co-op, and it's something that we also did in this game. We implemented co-op. We feel like it's very fun to go through a campaign in these games with a friend, or 4 friends in our case. You can play the campaign with up to 4 friends, and it's a 40 to 80 hour campaign, so it's a pretty large campaign. We have over 45 missions.
You said 42-hour campaign?
40 to 80 hour campaign. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's massive.
Yeah, it's a large campaign, and it'll depend on how fast you play. Some people actually play the levels pretty fast. Those will be the ones that land over the 40, 50 hour mark. And some people play a bit more slowly, and those will definitely land 80 hour plus mark. We've had people playing the game that spend several hours in each mission and having fun at it. So, it could be a 100-hour plus game for those, for sure.
Okay, for me it's a big plus to have a co-op mode. It's really the kind of game that you can go through with someone and have a great time. Can go slower. you
Absolutely.
talk you talk it through it. It's very nice.
Yeah, the one thing that actually led to the creation of this game was we were trying to play Jagged Alliance 2 in co-op, and there was a mod that sort of allowed you to do that, but it was kind of buggy and it didn't really work all that well. And you know, we were thinking, oh, let's see if we can come up with a game like Jagged Alliance 2, but that has co-op. So you know, and then the idea developed and eventually generated Project Haven, and you know, we definitely
Yeah,
wanted to have co-op in here.
You guys were getting a way to play the game that you wanted.
Exactly.
That's great way to start a game. Oh, now I have access to the other characters in different places.
You can jump out of that window actually with them. You can vault a lot of the traversal of the map. You know, you can vault through things,
standing
climb
still.
up ladders, you know, get on top
Oh.
of boxes and all that. You just you just did vault here on my end. But yeah, we tried to make the levels very open to allow you to have basically play however you want. We try to allow you to do the levels in as stealthily as you want, or just go guns blazing and jump through a window and start shooting, or you can try and take a more tactical approach. So we basically created the levels to be very open for the most part, and allow you to select which strategy you want to go for, and then basically have the game allow you to do that.
Oh, that was not very clever now. So, better to go back in. Yes. So each member of the team also has a different speciality, and
Yeah, so we use a classless system, so there's no classes or anything like that in the game. You are free to upgrade your character however you want. You can choose your attribute points, much like a normal RPG. You have several skills to choose from, and we will see that when we get to the HQ when you finish this mission. And yeah, you're completely free to basically spec your characters however you want. There's no restrictions in terms of weapon types or anything like that. But they do start with a little bit of the different stats and equipment each character. You're free to continue that same type of character, or you're free to change it if you wish to do so. The characters have their own personalities in the ways that they talk with each other and all that banter and all that, and the personality kind of fits with the let's say archetype that we chose for that character. But again, it's nothing restricts you from just completely changing it.
okay, more the equipment will set the tone for your character, and then you can tune in some stats as long as you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
seems fine. So I want to shoot them. Okay. Okay, no more AP.
Oh, fuck off!
Oh, that went through.
Beats standing still.
So you're basically just surrounding the enemy now, and there's not much they can do, but they will try and see if they can escape. Probably, if you let them live this turn, they'll probably just try and maneuver around the situation. The AI generally, and the player should also approach this tactic, which is try and not get flanked. It's extremely powerful. Again, since we have a ballistic system, there's nothing fictional or imaginary protecting you with a plus 20% evade. So if you are flanked, you basically have absolutely nothing between you and the enemy, and you can just get in real bad shape if you allow the enemy to do that to you. And the enemy knows that, and they will try and maneuver
Bye-bye,
such that they don't get flanked. Basically.
They will not go suicidal.
No, absolutely not. There are some enemies that are more. There are some enemies that are more, have a more risky behavior and try and force their way in. It just the AI tries to basically open you up and see if you make any mistakes. Yeah, this level is definitely eating a lot of people, and they're falling through the world. But yeah. This is also an older build at this point. This is like quite a few months old right now.
Okay.
It may have been fixed meanwhile.
Well, you give them realistic ballistic, but you give them a fantastic floor that eats the people.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Okay, yes. Okay, he's already trying to get some space between.
Yeah, it's as I said, he would maneuver over to a place where he was a bit more comfortable, that he wasn't getting flanked, and this is a point where setting up interrupt traps or stuff like that would really lock down an enemy and make sure that he wasn't able to flee without at least taking some more damage.
Okay, now get down. I won't try to do traps because I'm already being a slow player, and
Again, it's one of those games that it may, there's a lot of mechanics, but over just a few levels we usually find that players figure everything out and then start having a more the game starts flowing better just with just a few missions. It's not that it's complicated, it's just deep and has a lot of mechanics to it, but none of them are particularly complicated. It's just stuff that is very logical, and again, since we have a very realistic base for the game, it's mostly things that make sense and are intuitive, but it's just since there's so many of them, the player just takes a couple of levels just to get up to speed with everything. But it's nothing that it's not a very steep learning curve. It's just a
practicing.
fairly long one, but for today's standards as well.
Yeah, it's different standard by all means, but yeah, I don't find it it's what you said. It's many things, but not. Well, it makes sense. So
Yeah.
and I am not a fast player, anyhow. In any occasion, I took long time with Divinity.
Yeah, and again, some people
Might be in
just
trouble
enjoy
here.
playing that way, and it's completely fine. And it's a turn-based game. It's made to give you time to think about things and choose what you want to do. And if that's how a player wants to play, it's all good. It's no issues. Unless you're playing co-op and your friend is like really eager to continue playing, just like taking 5 minutes, then it can be an issue. But
That will always happen.
yeah, you probably wanna
One of
try-
them will have the rush, and the other, oh, take it easy.
but
Staying
it's
low.
sometimes that generates fun scenarios where one of your friends gets stuck like in a trap, and then you have to go and save him or something like that. So those kind of interactions can always be fun. Or you can just find some
Stay
people
out
that
of my
want to
way.
play in the similar pace to yours if that's what you wish. Or you can just play solo again. The game is the same in solo or co-op, so you don't really lose anything by playing in co-op or not playing in co-op.
Do you have the AI to scale up and somehow? No, because
Yeah, no, because you have the same amount of mercenaries as you do in co-op or in single player. You have the exact same amount of mercenaries, so the AI does not change between co-op or single player. Just that one person controls one or more mercenaries, and the other controls one or more. Again, up to 4. So
end mission. Okay.
there you go. That's the first tutorial mission done.
Indigo.
And now
Celebration
you will go
drink?
back to the
No.
base and
Okay. We have the survey. It's mission
it's just a
feedback.
little bit. It
Nice.
definitely helps. The feedback is, again, as I mentioned, the player feedback is invaluable for a game like this. Just to make sure that we are going in the right direction, because it's completely different to play this game with previous experience and someone that is new to it. So we definitely want to gauge how things are, for new players and previous players and all that. So feedback is
Okay.
very important.
How hard? Okay, this is difficult one, Sergio. How hard was this mission compared to your selected difficulty? If you choose
Yeah.
normal, it should be in the middle.
It's not too easy, not too hard. It's as you selected, basically.
Okay, we have a cutscene. Oh,
I
nice.
let Gecko know that the job's
With
done,
the
and he's as happy
temporary
as a roach when
animations,
Ricky's ramen
we haven't
special.
really worked too much on the animations yet. But
Ricky's for a snack.
Then you should probably thank Bubbles for saving your life.
Speaking of roaches, by tomorrow night, Alexei Romanov will be sentenced and bagged for organic recycling.
Gonna be happening to a nicer chap.
Yep.
Gecko's just dropped our payment into the operations box. Sorry, boss, but can't say I'm all that thrilled to be playing deputy doormat for the enforcers.
Only offer we've had since leaving the Iron Dogs, Bubbles. Beggars can't be choosers.
Doesn't mean I have to like it. I think you're both going to like this, though.
What? Daisy? Wonder what the drama queen's got in mind for us.
Sergio, and also regarding the co-op, I was curious. It will be local co-op. It will
I'll
be
take the guns, thanks.
it's online co-op.
online co-op, and
Yeah. I mean, I suppose you could play local just by sharing the mouse, but there's no
okay.
support other than that. Just change
Well,
chairs and have your friend play.
No, I phrased it wrong. I mean, will it have a matching system to find someone you don't know?
Yes.
and
There will
pair-
be lobbies. There will be lobbies that you can always use the forums or Discord and all that. But there are lobbies in the game that you can just open up and player can join.
Haven
The
is
co-op is drop
one
in,
big
drop out, so
patronage.
anyone can join at any time, and then just takes control of one or more of the characters. And yeah, so so you are clicking over there on the mercenaries. You're hearing their thoughts. Those are called insights,
bit
and
of
they
focus.
basically just allow you to hear the thoughts of
Can we
your mercenaries
please
over
blow
on the current
something up today?
situation,
Merc's a
and
great way to make a dime.
or whatever is going to happen next, and all and stuff like that.
Must remember to
Um,
sharpen my scalpels.
It's all part of the narrative component that I talked about earlier. You can talk to them. You can talk to the several mission givers and all that, and yeah.
Oh, so we are a group of mercenaries, right?
Yes, you are the leader of a group of mercenaries, and this is your HQ.
But-
Yeah,
I didn't understand. We do have affiliation?
yeah, you are the leader of them. You are the leader of
No,
these.
I mean, we have affiliation regarding the law or the
No,
basic right and wrong,
basically,
bad and good.
you're just trying to survive. So the game takes place in Haven City. It's the last city on Earth, and there's a very dystopian government setup where there's a very poor section of the city and there's a very rich section of the city. The player the player is in the poor part of the city where there's really no help from the city center, as we call it, the rich part, and basically people just have to make do with what they have. And basically the player just takes jobs as a mercenary just to make a living. Basically, you fight against other gangs, you fight against enemy factions and all that, and then there will be a narrative story component that drives the story along, and eventually you will get yourself into some situation that you will have to play to see more.
Okay, nice. So I don't believe we have time for another mission. You were telling me about something in the HQ that we would see.
Right now, if you can actually select that mission, you will not have, it will not actually be a mission. It'll be a cutscene, and then you get back to the HQ. But if you do that, and then you will have access to the markets and to your skills and all
I
that.
very much look forward to seeing if those promises can be kept. And you could start by solving a small problem of mine. The Brotherhood has encroached on
So this
territory
is
that
Daisy,
rather
and
personal to me.
basically
My home
she's
neighborhood.
one of the mission
Listen,
givers in the game,
Their
and she's giving you
extortionists are
your
working over my family and old friends.
your mission
And
now,
I
where you
will
basically
fight.
have to go and
Yet, the situation
rescue
must be handled
people in
delicately.
her
If we
neighborhood
are to
that are being
evade
extorted by
unfortunate
a gang
repercussions,
called the Brotherhood.
The extortionists
um,
must be isolated
then
and eliminated quietly.
Basically,
In
that's
their case, my
that's the
friends can
scenario
supply evidence of a
set up,
certain
and
Cinder Crusader, a fictional
Okay.
vigilante
she'll
that
give
I
you
only
quests
ventured
along the
to
or missions
distract
along
them
the
with an
along the
enticing
game, and
subplot,
she's one of the
so
main
that they
NPCs.
never know the steel
So
dragon
she
is
leads on that
vulnerable.
we'll have a stealthy mission ahead, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's still a tutorial mission. The next one that teaches you about stealth in the game, how you can use stealth to your advantage, and there's a lot of different types of missions. Some you can do fully in stealth, others you will have to do some combat, but stealth is always a valid option to gather information basically. So if you hit return to HQ on the top, no, I'm not sure if you. Oh, you already did. Oh, I think you did.
No. I was looking around.
Yeah, this is her bar. This is the Daisy's bar. But yeah, now back at the HQ, you actually have access to the market now, where you can buy new equipment for your mercenaries. But if you actually go over to the missions and then enter that mission, you will see the character select screen where you can equip your characters. You can change characters and give them skills. and all that.
Okay. I think last year when I played it, I came directly here because I clearly remember the equipping the mercenaries.
Yeah. So, this is where you basically configure your characters, set them up for whatever mission you have ahead. You know that this mission is more stealthy, so maybe you would take a bit more of a stealth equipment. Although right now you don't really have much
Yeah.
much of a choice since it's just one of the initial missions. But that's sort of the idea. You can give your characters again one of those attribute points, strength. You can choose one of the skills as well to upgrade since you have one level right now, or you can buy more weapons, buy equipment, and all that. So
So
you know,
you could-
it's you would spend some time here in the HQ also preparing for your missions and make sure that you have what is necessary to complete the objectives.
you will have things like first aid that will be consumables.
Yeah, exactly. You have consumables, you have explosives that are also consumables. You know, the ammunition, it's also important. Armor and all that. So it's yeah, it's, a lot of things to take care. Of course, you can also pick up stuff during the mission. You can pick up your enemies in weapons and ammo and all that, and then you bring them back to the base, and then you sell them for profit, basically, to fund your next endeavors.
Okay, this is a currency. We can sell this. Makes sense. Well, Sergio, I think we'll have to finish our presentation. The game is looking great. The mechanics are looking very sound. It's looking really nice. I'm anxious to see it and to be able to play the full game. Thank you so much for coming once again to IndieX and showing us this great game. Something that you would like to say to our audience before?
Yeah. If you like what you see, if you like deep tactical turn-based games, if Jagged Alliance 2 means anything to you, join our Discord server, follow us on our social media at Code351. You can wishlist the game on Steam, and yeah, we have several demos throughout the year, and yeah, if you're eager to give it a shot.
Just one
and
last
give us your
thing.
feedback.
The game has a scheduled release.
Yeah, we are scheduled for 2022. We don't have a month or a day yet. We still want to make sure that the game is as polished as it can be, but it will definitely be in the year 2022. So not too far from now, but yeah, hope you guys enjoy it.
Nice. So right next we'll have another game. It will be Little Goody Two Shoes, I believe, and we'll start in about 10 to 15 minutes. Thank you guys. Stick around. Bye bye.